Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Nala is here with me on my lap right now, so if you see any movement, that's what's going on. Okay, so before we get into today's video, I am fortunate enough to have a sponsor today, and that sponsor is Aura. But before I actually get into the video, I do have a little message about them and the service they provide, and I would appreciate if you guys would listen to it. It's not that long, and there is something at the end that is very useful to me. So, when I was offered this sponsor and when I was learning about Aura for the first time, I did that thing where I Googled myself to see how much data is exposed, how much of my information is out there. And it actually was pretty scary to see because you could easily find all sorts of private personal information about me, my address, my previous addresses, my phone numbers, the names, addresses, and phone numbers of people I have lived with and previously lived with, family members, addresses and phone numbers, previous employers, even crazy things like the square footage of the place that I currently live and how much it sold for the last time it was sold, just really insane information that you wouldn't imagine, and that was just on the free websites that anyone can access just by Googling. So I don't even want to think about the information that's out there available if you were to go to one of those pay websites where you pay somebody to try and dig deep and get more information about you, or on the dark web. So this is where Aura comes in handy, because that's scary stuff. It's unsettling to think that anyone with an internet connection can access such private details about my life. The thought of strangers, or even worse, scammers and identity thieves having access to this information is truly frightening. And that's why I've started using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura helps me take back control of my personal information by showing me which data brokers are selling my details and automatically submitting opt-out requests on my behalf. But Aura does so much more to protect me. Recently, AT&T revealed over 72 million customer records, both existing and former customers, were released on the dark web. AT&T recommended those affected use strong passwords, monitor account activity, and consider credit freezes or fraud alerts from credit bureaus. Well, Aura does all of that for me. And best of all, I don't have to download several different apps just because a company couldn't keep my data secure. If my info was compromised in the AT&T data breach, I wouldn't worry because Aura is always on, always doing the hard work of keeping me safe. I value my privacy and I value yours too, and that's why I highly recommend giving Aura a try. You can go to aura.com/MollyB, you can see right here below me, to start a 2-week free trial. Also, there is a link in the description below. So again, if you go to aura.com/MollyB, you can get a 2-week completely free trial, and if you sign up for just the free trial, I get some benefits as well. So if you want to support the channel at the same time, you can do that just by signing up for a free trial. So, alright, let's get into today's video. Thanks for listening, guys. Okay guys, so today we are going to be checking out the new trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, I know first of all that I'm a little late getting this up in comparison to a lot of people. You guys know sometimes health gets in the way of filming things for me, so unfortunately that was the case, but I held off on watching it even though it was difficult. And I'm pretty excited to check this out. If you guys know my previous content or know anything about me, you will know that I am a massive X-Men fan. When I was a little kid, my sister and I were obsessed with the animated series, which of course now has new life as X-Men 97, which I am loving and currently doing reactions to that are up on Patreon. My cousin used to have like every single X-Men comic book, and when my sister and I were little, we would go over to my aunt and uncle's house and we would read the comic books all the time, so I actually am fortunate enough to have been able to read a ton of the comics. And then just throughout my life since then, any X-Men media I can get my hands on, I am all about. So now, Wolverine is not my favorite character. Storm is my favorite character. And here she is in her amazing outfit that they just added to X-Men 97. But anyway, putting that aside, so he's not my favorite character. He's not even like my second or third favorite X-Men character, if I'm being honest. But I do think that he's pretty cool, And on top of that, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine has developed a kind of legendary status because of all of the different films that he's been in, all that he's done. He's very much come to be associated with that character. And we were all under the impression that he was not going to be coming back to play that role again after Logan. And so this is exciting. Not only because he's coming back, but because we know Ryan Reynolds has been dying to do a Deadpool and Wolverine duet movie for years and has been talking about it. So you know he's going to be putting a ton of work into making this exactly what he'd always hope it would be. And then finally, because this is supposed to be like a pretty big bridge for the X-Men really coming into the MCU. And I'm just super psyched for all of this. So let's not waste any more time. Let's check out the trailer together for Deadpool and Wolverine. Here we go.
I told you, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome anywhere.
Logan at a bar again.
Get the fuck out of my bar.
Just give me one more drink and then I'll leave.
Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now.
Look, lady, I'm not interested.
Look,
All right,
lady!
I'm sort of on the tick, so...
Upsy daisy.
Oh, whiskey dick of the claws. It's quite common in Wolverines over 40.
You don't want this.
Unless you want to take a deep breath through your fucking forehead, I suggest you reconsider.
He smiles. He's like, oh, you know who I am, right? Ooh,
I'm about
the
to lose
suit.
everything that I've ever cared about.
Oh.
Not my fucking problem.
Is that what you said when your world went to shit?
Come
Definitely
again.
multiversal.
This Wolverine let down his entire world.
Ah! Oh, that's gonna be a ridiculous fight.
Or should we wait for a third act flashback?
Go fuck yourself.
No way!
I don't know anything
But
about
like a
saving
prayer in the
worlds.
background.
But you do.
Trust me, kid, I'm no hero.
You were an X-Man. You were the X-Man.
The X-Men.
I am soaking wet right now.
Oh my god. Woo! You see who that was?
Boys are so silly.
Yes, that really is, isn't it, Cassandra?
This is what I'm talking about.
I gotta go back to that and
Slow
look.
motion action sequence. Who knows if you live or die? Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Oh my god. I threw a portal.
Wanna do some cocaine?
Hey, cocaine is the one thing that Feige said is off limits.
What about Bolivian marching
They
powder?
know all the slang terms. They have a list.
Even snowboarding?
Even disco dust.
White girl interrupted?
Even Forrest Bump.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes. I can't.
What? Okay, alright guys. First of all, there are so many things to talk about here. Like, we knew going into this, right? And we could even see this in like the teaser and when they announced that this was going to be a movie for real. We knew that it was going to be... Wolverine is kind of like the straight man to Deadpool's obviously not serious individual. But you can already tell just from this trailer that the dynamic is going to be amazing and hilarious. Can't believe he said, "Look, lady." Yeah, but from the pointing the gun at his head and Logan gives the little smile, and then we see all the images of them fighting in a just kicking the shit out of each other, which is going to be ridiculous because you have two characters that basically just continuously regenerate, just beating the shit out of each other, stabbing each other, shooting each other, and you know, for what? So that'll be a really hilarious and interesting to see. But some of the big things we need to talk about, well, first of all, this is not a big thing, but just hilarious that they used like a prayer. Is the background for this? I'm sorry, but I love it. It's ridiculous, but still seems so perfect. Okay, so the actual big things. First of all, we are being told that Deadpool is trying to save his world and that he's calling upon Wolverine to help him do this, whereas Wolverine apparently has let down people in his world and failed to save people, and his world has all fallen apart. So this is definitely a multiversal type scenario, which isn't a surprise considering the entire point of this being the merging of some of these Sony film characters with the MCU to begin with. So we don't know exactly why he needs Wolverine to save his world, or how he gets Wolverine or brings him in, or what exactly is gonna... But nonetheless, it's gonna be interesting. Second, Cassandra Nova. So if you guys don't know who Cassandra Nova is, I don't want to encourage you to look her up, because I don't know, like, I don't want you to get too spoiled in case there's like gonna be some like big surprising type reveals in the movie. But we'll just say she has a very complicated history in the X-Men universe. Very, very close and strange relationship with Professor X. I'm just thinking, like, in the comic storyline, like, I don't know how to put this. There's literally depictions of two fetuses. Do we say fetuses? Is fetuses a plural thing? I've never actually thought about that. Fighting each other in the womb, and that seems like something that you would never actually depict in a live-action movie, except maybe in a live-action Deadpool movie, you might. So I'm wondering if that, like, the possibilities for what is going to be shown here are open and endless, I feel, and that just is really hilarious and exciting. I'm also going back and trying to go back here and seeing like flashes of some other characters that are in this. We see, of course, like most of Deadpool's supporting cast making a return, which is not a surprise. But there's also what looks like a giant Ant-Man head and a whole bunch of characters standing in front of it. And one of them looks like, what's his face? Like he's red with a dragon tail. So I'm trying to find the picture, like a still picture of it. And yeah, right there. So if that's Azazel from the X-Men universe, the Sony X-Men universe. Wait. And hold on, and off to the other side here, is that Lady Deathstrike? Okay, so there's gonna be some crazy shit going on with characters that Wolverine has interacted with in some capacity yeah. And even ones that he hasn't necessarily interacted. I don't know. But yeah, so I have no idea what's going to be happening. But clearly, like, the blending of the worlds is happening at a level beyond just Wolverine and Deadpool, clearly. And I'm excited to see it. Very curious to see how it's going to go. Excited to see it. Everything looked great so far. I'm excited. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts as well. I'm not really sure what else to say. I'm going to have to go back and watch it a couple of times in order to see other things that I may have missed. But yeah, this actually tells us a good amount of information. I'm actually pretty interested to Wolverine, the yellow and blue suit looks fantastic, although he's not really wearing the mask at all, which is fine with me, but I imagine some people are not going to be super pleased. I'm guessing he probably at least puts it on at some point during the movie, but we'll see. But okay, I have talked plenty about this. I think it's time to wrap it up. But as I said, guys, please do leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you have not yet, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. It helps me out a lot. Thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.